Shit 90 Shows Taught Me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.
Are you ready to slay another day? So are we. Welcome back to Shit 90 Shows Taught Me. I'm Jess Sterling here with my co-host, Sarah Humphrey. Sarah, how are you?
Jessica, doing real good, real well. Just got back from my under the surface secret agent job.
If it's a secret agent job, are you supposed to tell people about it? You just told a lot of people about it.
It's a double bluff. Nobody would think that I would be a secret agent, so they don't take me seriously. But in reality, I'm a secret agent. But they will never know because nobody would take me seriously if I was one. It's a double, so hence a double bluff.
Got it. Okay, well, we're not alone today. Of course, we're joined by another lovely guest, someone who definitely has a stuffed pig named Mr. Gordo, Lindy.
Hello. So, how about them Broncos? Also, cheese?
Listen, I'd fall in love with him instantly. That's all I gotta say. All right, offer me cheese, you win my heart. That's all it takes.
He was a kitty patootie. It was in that moment when I said, JT, the TA, you might not be that bad. I think his name is Riley. No.
His name is Riley.
I still prefer JT the TA. But like the thing is his real name isn't even Riley, right? Like they call him like Finn or Flynn or something.
Finn is his last name. His name is Riley Finn.
Oh, I thought Riley was like his alter name, like his undercover name, and then Finn was like his real name, and I was like, this is 3 names I have to remember now.
Agent. Okay. Oh, it's very much like a Jimmy Steve Jack situation, a la Shameless. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, it's not though, because he has one name and it's Riley Finn.
It's a first name and the last name, and that's it.
Well, we're gonna have to learn his name because it seems like he's probably gonna be sticking around for a while. Being that he's probably gonna be Buffy's love interest, and he also seems to have something to do with all these special agent stuff happening. So we're gonna get into it on season 4, episode 7, The Initiative. But first, Lindy, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on season 4 so far? I know we've had some people be like, season 4 is underrated. Other people say season 4 is like to them because it's too like silly. Obviously, we haven't gotten super into the big bad stuff yet, so we know that there's some kind of falling out there. But what are your thoughts so far in season 4?
So far, I think it's really fun. I would agree that season 4 is underrated. I'm someone who prefers kind of the latter half of Buffy to the first half in high school. I know that a lot of people love seasons 2 and 3 especially. I like those, but they're not my favorites. So for me, the show is entering the era that I really, really love. So season 4 is very silly, but I find that very fun. And so especially watching these again through kind of the lens of your podcast and knowing how much fun you have had with the college years so far. So I like it.
Yeah, I thought this one was pretty fun. Obviously we'll talk about Angel later, but I thought that the Angel episode was actually pretty good as well. So I liked finding out that JT the TA, aka Riley, aka Special Agent Finn, has something more going on. And I like that he's kind of a third grader and that he doesn't really understand that he likes Buffy right away. He just calls her peculiar, and his douchey friends who are just like, yeah, you gonna hit that? Like, you know, those guys can go fuck themselves. But generally speaking, I don't mind Riley. I think, Sarah, he's getting a little bit more of a personality now, whereas I think before he was just kind of a nameless TA to me. But now I don't know, he can't dance, he's awkward, he doesn't know what to do with himself. I like it.
Yeah, I guess my only thing is that now that we know that in his day job he's kind of this badass agent that's kind of higher on the rank, it's like how much of that aw shucks personality is legitimate, or is it a show? Because I think like he seems like pretty pretty badass when he's in action, but of course that could just be, like in his day job, he's badass, but he like can't talk to girls or like he can't talk to Buffy. So I'm kind of curious how much of it is actually him. I think like now that, I mean, I'm 10 times more interested in him and what he's up to, but now I of course have a million more questions because I mean, the whole thing really brings up a lot of questions. I mean, there's so much to talk about in this episode. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of like bamboozled by how much this changed my perception of what was going on / aided. Like it's like a true Pretty Little Liars episode. It answered a lot of questions, but in turn, I have a million more questions now. So, yeah, I can't wait to get into it. But I think Riley is really interesting. I think that from what I saw in a college setting, where I really liked what I saw. I thought he was pretty cute. I don't think I'm ready to be like, I like him for Buffy until I realize, is the motivations of this government or military-esque entity, what is their goals? Are they good or are they bad? Because at first glance, a person like Riley, who is after the same goal as Buffy, as being like vampire fighters, seems like a thumbs up. It seems like they would have a lot in common, but I can definitely see that becoming an issue if, I don't know, there could be like some morality issues down the line. There could be some like differing of opinions on how to handle things. Like, I definitely think there could be rank issues. So I just think I have a billion questions. So I'm just blabbering on because I'm honestly, I'm excited about where this is going.
Yeah, there's a lot to get into with the special agent stuff. But I do want to talk about Riley's crush on Buffy first, because it kind of takes him having a conversation with Parker where Parker is the fucking worst, as if we didn't already know this, right? He calls Buffy whiny and clingy, and he says, oh, you know the difference between a freshman girl and a toilet seat? And that's when JT to TA hauls off and punches Parker in the face. Well deserved. I'm not saying physical violence is okay. I am saying Parker is a douchebag and someone was bound to punch him in the face at some point. And he kind of realizes, I think I like Buffy. And so Lindy, he goes to, this is a pretty good plan. He goes to her best friend to seek out advice. How do I woo Buffy? And the weird thing is, Lindy, I'm going to throw out some weird theory here. You already know the answer, but I'm going to say it anyway. It was strange to me how Riley and his friends, the way they speak feels almost like old school. Like he talks about like wooing a girl or courting a girl or something. And I don't know, because it felt like there were hints at the special agent of it all when like in the verbiage that some of the Riley's friends used, but also some of their language feels old timey. And I'm like, what if they're from the past and now we're introducing time travel into the show?
Yes, with state-of-the-art equipment and state-of-the-art machinery and state-of-the-art.
Oh, I'm saying the people are from the past, not the machines. Like that, I'm saying they're from the past and like Terminator style, you know, they've come to the future to not even murder the vampires. They're just there to like basically, I don't know, make it so they can't get hard with their teeth.
Okay, I know it's Lindy's turn to talk, and I know like I'm not in the business to poo-poo theories because I was the one that
the dust mite theory.
But that is the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
No, it's not. I'm okay. Lindy, I want you to respond, and I'm gonna find some of the language that I was referring to in the transcript. So, Lindy, you go ahead.
Okay, great. Well, I don't think it's the dumbest theory I've ever heard because that'd be difficult. But You never.
It's like difficult to be the dumbest theory you've ever heard.
No. Okay, so here's the thing. Like, anything would be possible. This is a show with the supernatural heavily involved, so you can't say like, oh, it's not possible that these people would be time traveling or whatever theory you might have, because it could be possible.
Anything is possible.
That said, without commenting on whether or not that's true, I do think their vocabulary is very interesting, especially.
Yes.
Yeah, this episode has a lot of interesting vocabulary, and it's not just from Riley and his friends. And okay, I absolutely hate it when his friend Forrest uses the word nubile to describe
young, nubile, exciting. And then he also says, "You've established first contact." Excellent. That's so weird to say. Again, that sounds more special agenty than old timey.
Right.
But like, considering these are, I don't even know how old they are, I suppose, but like college guys posing as college kids who are secretly secret agents, special agents. I don't see how it is so out of the realm of possibility that they're also from the past or something. No. Because they're just use weird language. They could be robots. They definitely could be robots.
They're like, if anything, they're like, test tube clones, like brought up to fight vampires, and they like watched all of their media growing up with like old-timey movies, so they picked up language that is not modern that way. But there's like, I don't think that I'm just saying that I don't think, like, how does somebody from yesteryear know how to use retina?
He's been trained, because he's been trained. You could train anyone to do anything. I'm just saying, they say weird stuff, especially Lindy. Forrest sucks. Okay, this is like not a hot take that Riley's friend Forrest absolutely sucks. But he says at one point, "Oh, they're probably on their way to make crazy naked sex." Now, why do you have to say naked? You could just say crazy sex. Why are we adding naked in there? Do you normally have all your clothes on, Forrest? Like, again, is he a robot? Is he from the past? What's going on?
You know what? Jess, maybe your theory has some weight to it, but I also see, not everything they say sounds like it's from the past. It also just sounds strange. Like he wonders if Buffy is, quote, mattressable, which is just a disgusting word. But then there's also Riley, who keeps using the word peculiar to describe Buffy, and then she uses it later. But honestly, the word that is so out of place to me is not even from Riley and his friends. It's Buffy and Xander using the word Teutonic. Like,
I had to Google this because in my head, Lindy, they were saying two separate words. They were saying the number 2 and like the drink tonic. And I'm like,
Teutonic.
Are they calling him like a lightweight? Like it takes him like 2 vodka tonics to get drunk? Like, who uses the word Teutonic? What college kid in their right mind uses this word? None of them.
It wasn't a college kid. It was Xander.
Well,
you said it first.
That's even worse.
I know.
It's even worse. Yeah. Of or relating to the ancient Teutons. So just old. They're from the past, confirmed. See? There it is. Boom. But either way, I did like his approach to like, I'm going to go to Willow. I'm going to get some information. The problem is Willow is in the depths of her despair, as am I, at the loss of Oz. Okay. She's in mourning. And so she is sad and she can't even think about love right now because it makes her weepy and angry. And she doesn't give the best advice, Sarah, when it comes to like wooing Buffy. She tells him about Buffy's stuffed pig named Mr. Gordo. And she says, "Oh yeah, and she likes cheese." Which, like, if said about me, is very factual and certainly something you could bring up in conversation with me. But like, have we ever heard anything about Buffy and cheese? Maybe.
The issue is that she can't tell like actual facts about what Buffy actually likes, because, or what she does or what she's into or how she spends her free time, because obviously she's the Slayer, so she can't it's kind of like a weird game. It's like, let me tell you about my friend, like all of her things that she does and all of her interests, but I have to leave out 90% of it. So it's just like, I think that that's like kind of how what she had to resort to at the end of it, because it was like, after I filter out all the secrets, what can I share with this man? Because Buffy leads a very interesting life, but the majority of it is something that she can't tell anybody.
I suppose that's true. I do think there are other like factoids that she could
Like
give
what?
besides cheese. Like, what kind of music does Buffy like? What does she like to do for fun when she's not slaying?
She doesn't
like,
have fun. She doesn't have time for fun. She literally has to ask Giles if she can go out to a party. Like, she doesn't have a life outside of this. She could talk about things from before Buffy was the Slayer, but that's a totally different Buffy. So I don't know.
I guess.
It's not like she doesn't really shop anymore. She's not as into clothes as she used to be. Like, she's into fucking 200-year-old vampires, and she's into like
And Parker. In the previously on, we got more Parker. Like, I'm so
Well,
can we just kill him off, please?
it's because
did
we
get
saw
punched
him
in the
this
face.
episode. Yeah.
We're one step closer to getting him killed off if he's getting punched in the face, at least.
He is a human, so it would be pretty hard for them to just outright kill him.
Yeah, I guess so. Ultimately, I do think Willow gives like decent advice, because she does mention, oh, we're going to this party later, like Buffy will be there. And when she meets up with Riley at the party, she's like, oh, this is what she's wearing, which means this, like, this is how you should act around her. And I'm like, wow, okay, Willow, that was actually pretty insightful and pretty helpful. The problem is, Lindy, that Riley is so freaking awkward. Like, he can't dance. He doesn't know what to say to Buffy. And I think my favorite moment of the entire episode is when he just offers her a piece of cheese. It's the best.
I mean, that feels like it would have a good success rate. Would you like some cheese? Absolutely, I would.
Of course I would love cheese.
So I
Yeah.
don't think, that was a bad approach. But yes, he is very awkward. I think it's so funny that he is just so caught off guard by the fact that he likes Buffy. He's like, I guess I like her. And
Has he never liked a person before? Like, what's wrong with
I
him?
don't
This
know.
is more credence to him being like a robot or something. Like, how do you not know? What are these strange feelings that are happening inside of me? Like, what a weirdo! Like, you like her, just you're not 10. Like, it's okay. You can like her.
What if he's 10, Jess?
He could be. What if he's secret baby? Like, instead of being a vampire, he's like secretly 10.
I was really hoping you would take the bait and just make up another theory.
Theorizing is like the best part. So I will also give credit to Buffy for taking a night off of slaying to take care of Willow, because there have been times where Willow has been there for her, and now Buffy is being like, my best friend is suffering from a breakup. I'm going to take her out. We're going to go have fun. We're going to go to a party and have a great time because she needs it. Sarah, Willow is very much in her little mopey depressed era.
It's depressing to get broken up with, but I really do like, I kind of disagree with the fact that she wasn't a good help to Riley, because I think like at first it was feeling a little rough, but like once she came around, I really liked kind of the support that Willow was giving Riley in turn to get support for Buffy. I thought it was great, especially where she kind of like joined up with him, was giving him advice at the party. I thought that it was like definitely 2 thumbs up for me. I felt like it was really sweet to see Willow like put aside her own feelings and her own thoughts against if love can actually work or relationships actually work, for Buffy's sake, and of course the protective nature of her saying, don't mess with her. If you hurt with her, then I'll kill you, or whatever she said. So I thought that it was really sweet to have her put aside her feelings in these moments and and like be there for Buffy and like do something really kind for her. It was really nice. Also, I did not know that Oz had a different name as well.
I was trying to bring that up next. His name is apparently Daniel Osborne. He does not look like a Daniel. Like, what are we doing here? That's such a basic name. Oz.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't know that.
I don't think I did. I don't know that we've ever had, like, I feel like we knew Oz wasn't his full name, but like Oz could be short for like Oscar, you know?
I don't know. Lindy, were we told this and we just are having bad memories, or is this a hot reveal?
I gotta be honest, I don't remember if they have said that before or if they probably did, but it's really not that important. Just Oz is his name. I never gave it much thought, but it didn't catch me off guard when they said Daniel Osborne, so I've heard that before, but I don't know how often it ever came up.
Oh, actually, I know something else I want to talk about. This is actually breaking news, hot off the presses. Jessica, did you see that they took Oz off the opening credits?
Yeah. But I'm not happy about it.
No, shut up. Now, did you see who they put on the opening credits?
Yes, I did.
So I think I have a new theory. I think
great.
they said, Seth Green, you are boring us. We are bored with
That's
you.
That's not what happened.
Shut up. We don't know what to do with you. You're kind of boring. We don't want you anymore. You were good with Willow for a hot second. We want Spike, but we don't have enough budget to have another. Listen to me, Jessica. We don't have enough budget in our budget to have an additional full-time person. So they were like, Seth Green, hello. Welcome to my meeting. I have bad news for you. We are bumping you from a series star to a guest star. And Seth Green says, not on my watch. I'm either you keep me full time or I'm leaving. And they say, I'm wiping my hands clean of you, sir. So he left. He gets bumped. James, whatever his face, Spike, comes in full time. And he's now here. He is a full-time star. He's going to be here every single episode now. Spike is here to stay.
I'm pretty sure I've heard that Seth Green wanted more to do. His movie career was kind of taking off. And so he left the show versus, I don't think that, I don't know for sure, but I don't think it was like, we want Spike, fuck you, Seth Green, see you never. I think it was more Seth Green wanted more of a storyline because he wasn't being given like a ton. I mean, Sarah, it confirmed by the fact that you say he's boring. Like he doesn't have a ton of storylines.
Yeah.
And then I think they just ended up cutting him loose because he wanted more to do. And then he goes on to do Austin Powers and all that other stuff. I'm happy to see Spike back. Like I am. I think he's a fun character. And I do feel like there is chemistry, not only between Spike and Buffy, but there is a little bit of a Spillo chemistry happening here.
I don't see it.
I please, he's like, I would bite you in a heartbeat. Like that top you were wearing the other day. There's definite chemistry there. It's just, I don't like that we have to get rid of Oz to get Spike. But speaking of Spike, we might as well talk about him now, Lindy, because he was captured, we saw last episode, and turns out it's by these special agents, and something is going on. They're like drugging the blood that they're feeding these vampires that they're capturing and essentially neutering them so that they can't bite people, and they also don't have the like physical strength that vampires usually have. And Spike falls into this. He gets captured because he's making a big speech on a cliff.
So based on what we learned in this episode, I think there are two separate things happening. So the blood, one of the other vampires tells Spike that it's drugged, and I think that is what maybe like makes them weaker. Versus at the end of the episode, Riley and Professor Walsh are talking about an implant and saying that the implant worked, and that means that Hostile 17 can't hurt any living creature without feeling intense neurological pain. So those are two separate things. So there's something implanted in Spike now that means that he can't hurt anyone.
Now, this is obviously really interesting because, Sarah, we were like, oh, who are these military people? I wasn't expecting them to like literally live on the college campus. Like I was thinking it was more of like a like the United States military or something. This seems much smaller. But in terms of the morality here, this feels extremely fucked up. Like, because you're not killing the vampires, which they're menaces to society. So like one could understand them staking them, right? We have a slayer, on and on. No, instead what they're doing is neutering them so they cannot feed, and then like giving them drugged bags of blood. Like, what exactly do you think their plans are with these vampires?
Well, I mean, I think that, this is okay. I think that the original concept is, obviously we know that there is a vampire issue, not only in Sunnydale, but probably the world.
Because they live in a hellmouth.
Yes, I heard that. Yeah. And so basically there's like, they're populating so much that killing them is not stopping the epidemic. So I think like this whole thing was birthed from, if we can't beat them, can we save them? Which is, I think that that's kind of like a big morality thing, because it kind of reminds me of religion as well. But I'm going to put that aside because we don't have time for that right now. So I think like it came from, let's try to save them. Like, let's have them exist, but they can't like reproduce. I think neuter is like an interesting word. I was thinking like declawing cats, but I think like
it's a very similar concept.
So I think that like it was born from trying to like, let's not kill these people, because maybe there's some morality things there of just like killing. That's not good. But let's try to quote unquote help them. However, I don't think that any vampire is voluntarily signing up for this. This also kind of reminds me of like the whole X-Men thing.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah, of like, I don't remember which movie, like the second or the third, I don't know, one of the X-Men movies, where there was a remedy, right? Of like, if you would like to get your powers taken away, then we can do that for you. And there's some people that would want that, and there's some people that are majorly fighting against that. And then in turn, it also kind of reminds me of the Civil War in Avengers. So I think like, once again, like if a person or a vampire, the thing is that they're typically demons, they don't have souls, so they can't really like think about this that well. But typically they're unable to, they probably do not want to be quote unquote neutered or like forcibly taken to have a chip. However, I think it was birthed from something good, and then a lot of these things, like it becomes more of a like societal or morality issue, and that like now they are taking people from the streets, but also they're like vampires that are like prowling and trying to kill somebody. So it's not like, so I can see like both sides of it. Honestly, I honestly think that they think that they're doing good, but I think that this is also the type of thing that can like get out of control pretty quickly.
Yeah. Lindy, I immediately thought of, I'm thinking of this on a larger scale, of course, right? Because these people are calling themselves special agents. And so in my mind, that means, okay, the government has like appointed them as such. So if we're looking at this as like a larger scale operation where the government is involved, naturally my mind immediately goes to like, okay, they're running experiments essentially on what they deem to be not humans, so it doesn't matter. Like there's no morality question because they're not human and they're hurting people. They're implanting these chips into them, and they're testing the chips to make sure they work, to make sure they can't feed on people. And then what they're going to do, if they can do this implant, I'm assuming they can then change some of the directives of the implant after it's already been implanted. So in my mind, and obviously you can't confirm or deny any of this, but in my mind, their ultimate goal is they want to weaponize these vampires. So they want to then course correct the chip. So, okay, instead of putting all of our humans on the front line of combat, we will instead use these implanted vampires, alter the chip to say, don't hunt your own, only hunt these specific people that look like this, people of this in this country, people in this region, whatever it is. It seems just like they're weaponizing vampires. Like that, I'm looking at it on like a huge scale, because I can't help but think, Lindy, my mind is always going back, because people talk about Buffy and how good it is at like recognizes in its own canon and everything. My mind goes back to the invisible people that the government was capturing. And so like, who's to say the government isn't involved here, you know?
Who's to say? Not me, because I don't want to spoil anything. But I will say, at this point, we've just been introduced to the initiative, as they call it. So obviously, there's a lot left to learn. From this episode, we don't know how big the scale is, because we see inside this facility that is apparently underneath a house at the college.
Is it a frat house? Like, I think it is, right? They're a part of this frat.
I think I feel like it was either a frat or like a men's residence hall that is like more like a house, something along those lines. But it was something along those lines. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting too. I don't know, Jessica, I think we're cooking. I know I like really insulted you earlier, but like I think that we're getting
you can't help but like think of the larger scale implications of what it is that they're doing, and like why even bother unless there's like a much larger idea. Why not just kill the vampires, you know?
That's exactly I didn't get completely there, but that's exactly where I was like heading. Of like, it starts out innocent, or
like the Wolverine thing, or like who's the other guy, Captain America, where they with Captain America, they made his body like he was like super skinny and tiny, and then they beefed him up and made him basically impenetrable in order to be good at combat. Like that was the whole purpose of it. So that's where my mind goes. But I also think it's interesting, Lindy, that like the people involved are posing as a psychology professor, and she seems to be like the head of the operation. And then we have like all these, again, I don't know if they're frat bros, but like college dudes. It's just very funny. Like I'm interested to see where this goes, because it looks like a large scale operation from what we've seen of kind of the layout, the blueprints of the building.
Yeah, sorry, to finish my thought. So we don't know quite how big this operation is. It's underneath like a college building, whatever it is, and it seems like a big space, and we see parts of it, but maybe not the whole thing. But also something interesting to consider is that the name that they have for Spike is Hostel 17. And I think that's interesting for two reasons of what you both have said. One is that in terms of the scale of the operation, if he's been assigned something with the number 17, that's a pretty low number.
I was thinking that means they have at least 16 others. Like, that's still a lot.
Well, considering how many demons and vampires Buffy has encountered in the last 3+ seasons,
that means she's doing a good job. She's killed so many of them that she
really has.
We're not finding as much.
To me, 17 doesn't seem like so much when you consider the scale of what we've already seen. But who's to say what their, convention really is? But the other half of that is the fact that it's Hostel 17. And I feel like, Sarah, you were talking about, maybe they're trying to help them and, rehabilitate them. And perhaps that's part of the intention, but it's hard to see that when you're calling someone a hostel. You probably don't call them that.
It's a number. Like, it's not. It's very much dehumanizing who these people are.
Right, and they're not even human to begin with, and so just automatically you're starting from a place of, this is a hostel. This hostel has a number. They're not human. We don't think of them that way. They don't have a name. They just have this label.
They're experiments.
To us.
Yeah, exactly. And it's because basically Spike escapes with the help of this other guy, and not before this other guy mentions, it was the Slayer's fault that like I got caught. So Spike thinks that Buffy is behind all of this, and he's had enough of her shenanigans, so he's going to try to take her out. Spike is able to escape by basically throwing this other guy under the bus, which is very funny. And he returns to Sunnydale, returns to Harmony, who I am enjoying Harmony and what she provides to the show, Sarah. I think like her being kind of a dum-dum, while not as good as the character of Drew Lulu, I still think she's really funny, especially in her scene with Xander this episode. I thought she provided some comedy.
Yeah, good comic relief. I agree. And I was going to point out the scene with Xander. I think I enjoy the scene with Xander or the other Scoobies when she runs into them, more so the dynamic with Spike. But then again, like it's really funny how she was like, everybody leaves me, and then Xander leaves her as well. So I think that I think like seeing Harmony again uh in a different way has been a lot of fun. And obviously, like, I don't think she's going to last the entire season. Like, she's going to be a dead soon, but I think it's really fun to like kind of watch the shenanigans that she gets into. She also is like very much it's kind of interesting. She's like, yeah, like I want to kill, but like let's leave Buffy alone. So it's like they also have they have the choice to not like see something and or like you know what I mean, like a rabid dog, like go after everything in sight. Like they can make a choice, and she's like, I don't want to go after Buffy. Like I know that she's just gonna kick your ass, and you're gonna be grumpy about it. So like let's leave her alone. Let's go to Paris. Let's go here. So I don't. Yeah, I've been enjoying seeing Harmony, especially the Xander scene. I thought was really. It's just like you know, like you kick like a girl type of thing. Just like kind of funny things like that.
I mean, the slow-mo slap fight between Xander and Harmony is one of the reasons why I chose this episode. It's just so funny to me.
It was really great. She's like lighting Spike's stuff on fire, complaining about him. And of course, the person she bumps into is Xander. And it's like the two least capable fighters on both sides have to fight each other. And I'm trying not to insult Xander too much because I do think he has another decent episode, right? Like he's going to go on patrol with Giles. He has all of this equipment from when he was the military guy, but apparently over time his like memory on how to use all of it has kind of faded. I think that's really interesting. I love his dynamic with Giles. I think they're a really fun pair. So I'm really enjoying what we're getting from Xander this season. My one big gripe is, where the hell is Anya? And why is she not on my TV screen? I know we're not getting her every episode, but come on! I want lasagna. Where the heck is she?
Yeah, but we have to save her for the back half of the season. That will be really nice.
She better be here the back half of the season. She better be here.
It's
yeah, Xander had a good...
Just like Eliza Dushkabadoo, like she had to get saved till the end so that she can have her big story.
Where the heck is Faith too? She's still kicking around there
probably
somewhere.
Dead too. I don't know. We have
she's not dead. She wouldn't die off screen.
We have no evidence that she's alive.
Lindy, one of my favorite moments for Giles this entire episode was when Xander's mom asks if Xander and his friend want fruit punch, and he asks, "Is it raspberry?"
I know, right? I love that Giles was like, "Oh yeah, no, that sounds good." But I don't know. Have you had raspberry fruit punch?
No, fruit punch is meant to be like tropically, right?
I don't even know what the flavor is, but raspberry doesn't seem correct. But it sounds good.
It's just what flavor is fruit punch? I know it's like fruit punch is the flavor.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Orange, pineapple, cherry, and more.
And more.
And more. Unhelpful. Orange, pineapple, passion fruit, guava, papaya.
Yeah, it's just like a tropical.
Yeah, which explains why it's not my favorite. I don't really like tropical flavors.
Really? Oh yeah.
Which raspberry doesn't fit into that. But either way, I really enjoyed them together. I enjoyed the fact that like Xander is just nonstop talking, and Giles is like, "Shut up!" Like, it feels like what would happen if that pair were to go on patrol together. You know? Oh, they're so good. So Spike returns to Harmony and then decides, I'm just going to go after Buffy. Like, enough is enough here. And he, of course, goes to the dorm room, and that's where he finds Willow. And Lindy, I like that, like, we're bringing back this dynamic, because I loved when we had the Spike and Willow stuff where he wanted her to make a spell, and like, she can't help but kind of play therapist to him every time she encounters him. It's so funny.
Yeah, that was the last episode I was here for, Lover's Walk, when Spike came back in season 3.
I forgot about that.
So can you tell I like Spike as a character?
And obviously you're a huge Spillo fan is what I'm seeing. Big Spillo shipper.
I think the innuendo was like really funny throughout the scene.
Yes.
I think that it was just really, it was pretty witty, and I really much enjoyed how they were just talking around it, but out of context, it could have been a totally different situation. So I really enjoyed this scene a lot, and I did like their dynamic. And I really like the fact that like Willow just serves as like a random therapist for Spike. And I think like that's what I would prefer to see this dynamic stay as, rather than a romantic relationship. Like I kind of just, I don't see them really as a pair truly, but I really like this dynamic.
Can you imagine though, vampy Willow with
that I
Spike?
can see,
That
that
would
I
be
can
really
see.
fun.
Yeah. No, I can see that. I just don't see like Willow how she is. Maybe when she like gets more edgy when she's a witch, but I don't know.
She's gonna get into that black magic.
I just feel like when I see Willow's person, I'm going to know. Like I just feel like I'm going to feel it in my soul.
Oz, you already saw him.
Not him. You have to get over it. Like I'm
I will
serious.
not. I will
You
not get
have
over
to.
it.
You
I
have
won't.
to.
You remember Pandy? I held on to that, and I still
mean,
do.
We all do. We all
Okay,
do.
well then I won't get over Waz. No, I agree with you, Sarah. The innuendos cracked me up. This sort of thing's never happened to me before. Maybe you were nervous. Does this happen to every vampire? Not to me, it doesn't. And
She's
then
like,
Willow thinking it's her.
Yeah, it's me. Like I'm not a girl that like you would want to like get
Yeah.
blood.
Oh, you're like a
from.
sister to me. And then
Nobody said that to Willow though. That was the annoying I guess like she was thinking about Xander, I suppose.
that's just how I think that's how she's been treated always, though, right? Like Lindy, there was a scene when they were still in high school where it was like, oh, Willow's got it. Willow's reliable. Like this is how they talk about her. I can't blame her.
Reliable. That's rough. Yeah, this scene
Yeah.
is really funny. And, you know, Spike remembering an outfit that Willow wore last
The
year.
fuzzy pink number with the
fuzzy
lilac underneath.
Look at
Excuse
Spike
me.
with that fashion, you know how. But I also love when he's like, I'm only 126.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be happening to me. It was a very good scene.
It was so fun.
I really like Spike when he's not with a girl companion. You know what I mean? Like I like
He's not with a girl.
Basically, when he's not like berating either Delulu or
Harmony.
Like,
I see.
Every single other scene, when he's in it, I'm like, I love this guy. But the second he's mean to one of the girls, I'm like, fuck you. Like,
you know what it is though? It's
What?
because when he has the power, that's when we don't like him. It's when he is like the underdog that we like him, right? When he's sad sacky, when he's drunk and crying about Drululu, when he can't get his teeth up to bite Willow.
Oh,
like,
what do you think that? Okay, so hold up. Like he was okay because of course, like I'm thinking of two things. Like this is not the aforementioned Wolverine. Like it's not like their teeth come out. Well, sometimes they do, but it's not like his teeth are coming out. And like the innuendo is like, oh, he couldn't get his teeth up, like as you said.
Yeah.
But like I think that like whenever he tried, he just gets like an excruciating migraine and he's not able, he's in like too much pain. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I think he can like transform into his vamp face, but when he tries to cause pain, aka by biting Willow, he gets that intense pain in his head and can't follow through with it.
So, and then to stay alive, he has to drink like blood, kind of like Angel, I'm assuming.
Yeah, so they specifically said at the end that he can't harm another like living creature. So that would imply that he can't just like kill animals.
Yeah.
But he could obtain blood that's like already available.
Okay.
Which is what Angel had done in the past because we've seen.
Okay, so this is how we get Spike to stay and be part of the group. Now Spike is going to college. He's going to be roommates with Xander.
No!
Yeah, he's going to join a fraternity.
No,
Yeah,
no,
yes.
no.
Yeah, he is a hop skipping away from being a good guy.
Oh my god. Well, listen, I don't necessarily agree with that. I just don't see him being like roommates with Xander.
Skip and a jump away. No, he's roommates with Xander. How? Yeah, absolutely.
No.
It's gonna
well, either way, it's in this moment that the special agents find him because they use this like temperature gun sensor thingy, and so they're able to be like, okay, room temp, or 98.7, 98.7, 98.7. Oh, that's a coldie. That's wait, is it 98.7? What is it?
98.7.
That's okay. Is it weird that my temperature is literally never 98.7?
What is it?
What is it?
It's always lower than that.
97.
Yeah,
much lower.
Not like 91 or anything, but like 96.
Are you a vampire?
I secretly am.
She is pretty pale, honestly.
I'm really pale. I rarely go out in the sunlight.
Kind of unwell.
Okay.
What?
But it's in this moment, so we have kind of all of our plot lines kind of converging onto one where the special agents infiltrate and try to take down Spike, as Willow is like, oh, you're like all sad and like I can totally hit you with this lamp right now and escape. And then I love the moment with the fire extinguisher because it makes everything like foggy, no one can see. Buffy comes in, shoots off a freaking flare gun, and like no one can see anyone except I did like Riley, aka JT the TA, aka Finn, Special Agent Finn, is like they're supposed to take Willow in because there's a possibility that she's been, what do they say, contaminated, bitten. She needs to be under quarantine essentially. And he's like, no, leave her. And it's like, oh, because he has a crush on Buffy and that's her BFF. Oh, he doesn't want to take her in for quarantine. I liked that about Riley. That seems nice.
Okay, maybe I watched this wrong. I thought that he said he saw Buffy, who was actively fighting against like everybody, and
he couldn't see her at that point.
I thought he said like leave her because he was trying to leave Buffy alone.
I thought he was talking about Willow because by the time Buffy comes in and shoots the flare, no one can see anything. They think they were fighting a dude. They were like, oh, he's a big, scary dude.
There's a lot of smoke. I'm not really sure.
Well, because Buffy and Riley, Lindy can confirm or deny, like, I thought that Buffy and Riley didn't know that each other were in that fight.
No, they definitely didn't because like their interaction. What?
You don't think that Riley knew it was Buffy? I know that Buffy didn't know it was Riley, but I thought Riley knew it was Buffy.
So I think they purposefully show us from his perspective what he's seeing, and it's so blurry that like you can tell he wouldn't be able to make out that it was Buffy. Like you see it from his perspective. It's just like this big blob. So I think he does not know that that was Buffy. And you can tell based on their interaction at the end of the episode. Like they're acting like their normal selves, and Riley is awkward at his normal state, that's for sure, but there's no undertone there of like, oh, I fought you last night. I don't think that's present in the last scene of this episode.
Yeah. So yeah, neither one of them are aware. Like they're like fighting around each other, even though they seemingly kind of sorta are on the same side. I don't trust this professor because she's quite the asshole. Like I just don't trust her. Obviously, if the government is involved, I extra don't trust them. Like I trust Buffy and the Scoobies obviously way more than these special agents. So we'll see what happens there. Because he calls himself a demon hunter, which also doesn't feel entirely accurate because that's what I would call Buffy, but they're not hunting anything. They're like subduing and experimenting on people or vampires, whatever. So yeah, I don't know. That was our episode. And we end with a cute little Riley Buffy flirty moment. It seems like this isn't the end of that relationship. This is just the beginning. So we'll have to see where that goes. Anything else either of you have to say about the initiative before we get into Cordy's corner?
I feel like there were a lot of fun things in this episode. I like when Willow threatens Riley and then really specifically about, beating him with a shovel. And then it's like, a vague disclaimer is nobody's friend. Have fun. So I loved that. And I think Willow was really great. And she was also like, you know what? Any reaction is okay, except projectile vomiting. But what are the chances of that?
That would be
awful. I think like this was a really good mix of like good character high school fun and supernatural like Buffy the Vampire stuff. You know what I mean? Like I feel like
we got good plot progression as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of had a nice mix.
Yeah, I really like this episode. I really like the twist. I honestly didn't see it coming, so especially with the professor as well. So for them to be involved with like the random people in the military gear, I thought that all of it was really surprising in a really good way. I really enjoyed it. So I think it's like definitely probably my favorite of the season so far. And I think that's like, I don't know, like I think like it makes sense that this is like the jump start of the season. And I checked my Buffy clock. It's about time. So
episode 7, it's about time.
It's about time. So yeah, 2 thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And then alongside this, let's moving into Cordy's corner. We watched season 1, episode 7, The Bachelor Party of Angel, which is like a Doyle-centric episode. We find out he has a wife named Harry, aka Harriet. She wants a divorce so she can get married to this other demon guy who seems pretty nice, except for the fact that his family has to do this ritual at the bachelor party where they eat the brain of the new wife's former lover, first husband, either way.
Can you imagine if Adam had to bring my ex to his bachelor party and be like,
no, I actually cannot imagine that at all. At all. I can't imagine that.
That would be terrible.
But this one was a pretty fun episode, I thought. Like, I like getting Doyle backstory, and getting to find out that like he's half demon, and it didn't like present until he was already an adult, and it makes sense to why he only hedgehogs sometimes, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Man, also, that hedgehog face is so ugly.
Oh, you mean this, Lindy? This is what you're talking about? You don't like this?
Ew.
His face.
Ew.
It's really, really bad.
It's like if the mask was spiky.
Yes. He looks like a sea urchin,
honestly.
It looks
green. The green is and the spikes
really
together.
It's really bad. But yeah, Lindy, was this in any consideration for why you wanted to come on for the Buffy episode? Was it mostly the Buffy episode, or do you also enjoy the bachelor party?
Well, this was absolutely not part of my consideration, the corresponding Angel episode, but I did enjoy it. I think it was a fun early season 1 episode. I like Doyle. I think he's really funny, and this was a pretty good episode. Cordelia had some good moments. I think I say it. That's my way. It's very, very Cordelia. So I think this is a solid episode of Angel season 1, and I cannot say that about all of them. So
yeah, we got some nice Cordy development, Sarah. Like, she tries to go out with kind of her usual type, a rich guy, but she finds him to be like pretty boring, and she wants someone who's a little bit more exciting, right? Her literal job has to do with like baddies and investigative work and like very exciting stuff. So it kind of makes sense that she wouldn't want this like rich, boring guy anymore, especially when he just leaves her high and dry when she gets attacked. My one gripe, and it's a very small gripe with this episode, Sarah, is I loved how at the very end of Cordy's run on Buffy, she was allowed to like stake a vampire, like she was given the agency. And I was a little upset that she was treated like a damsel in distress in this episode with like needing to have Doyle save her. I was like hoping she would grab the crossbow bolt after he couldn't like reach it, and that she would then like stab the vamp, you know?
Yeah, it's like what I said a couple of episodes. It seems like Cordelia in the first season of Angel is kind of a regression back to Cordelia 1.0. Just slightly, because I think that she has like a long ways to go as well. Even though I definitely see in this episode as well some development. And but yeah, like I definitely agree. I think like it'll come in time. Like I think that I can totally see Charisma Carpenter in like a leather catsuit and she'll be fighting crime alongside Angel, something along those lines. Yeah, it's gonna be, but yeah, like it would be nice if she took some agency. But I do like the developing relationship between Doyle and Cordelia. I'm finding it kind of interesting. I'm kind of into it. Also, we find out that like Doyle's not his first name. He has like another name too. We are learning Francis. We're learning so many names this episode, truly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the biggest problem though is because there's definitely some sort of chemistry between Doyle and Cordy, but Doyle is now still married. Like he didn't end up getting a divorce, I don't think.
No, he signed the paper.
Oh, right. I'm thinking it was more of that Harry didn't marry the new guy, but that doesn't mean they're not divorced still. But there still could be like something there, right? Because the whole reason that they didn't stay together wasn't because they fell out of love. It was because he became a demon and he like couldn't accept himself. He couldn't really like, he became like he hated himself. And of course, we know because RuPaul says it, if you don't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? Like, so they ended up getting, you know what I mean? So like I could see her being a recurring character or like her being the reason that Cordy and Doyle don't happen sooner.
I don't know. I don't know about that. Like I feel as though she's just going to find another demon to fall in love with. She has a real fetish for them. So
well, she studies them. That's like her whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Ethno-demonology. That's what she
It's just so funny how, you know, there's a real spectrum in these shows of like people who have no idea what's going on, even though they live in Sunnydale and people are killed by vampires every day. And then you've got someone like Harry who studies demons. It's like,
yeah,
how are both of these things here? But in regards to Cordelia, I do like in this episode where she shows up to the party and she like is beating up Doyle by accident because he's in his demon face and she's like beating him down, and then Doyle shows up and she's like, hey, like she doesn't realize that was him.
It's perfect. I think my favorite scene of the episode is when we're with the like demon family just eating like a bunch of KFC and they're like, oh, and we're going to do this and we're going to do like charades and there's going to be a stripper and then we're going to eat the brain. And they're like, wait a minute, charades? Like it was so good. I thought it was so cute and funny. And yeah, I thought it was a good episode. I really like Doyle. So I think that obviously getting like a character-centric episode with Doyle was going to be something I would enjoy because honestly, Angel is such a sourpuss that like the less that he is in the main role, the better. He's just such a sourpuss all the time. And obviously by the end of the episode, we're setting up some sort of a crossover situation for next episode because Doyle has a vision about Buffy. So we'll see what happens there. Like, truly, I just want the best for Buffy, and the best for Buffy equals forgetting that Angel ever existed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That might be nice. But yeah, I like how they're setting up something. So you'll see what happens there next time. Oh, one thing I wanted to say about this. Did you recognize the guy who plays Richard, the new husband?
He had a familiar face. Like the mole looked familiar to me, but I couldn't place him.
He was in an episode of Buffy. He was that guy Ken in the season 3 opener of Buffy when she's in LA, and he's that guy who's like getting young people to come to the underground place, you know.
Oh, interesting. That's strange because he's a totally different character here.
Yeah, this is a different character, not the same person.
They're like, we liked you over there. Come on over here, even though it shares the same world. You could be someone else. Well, we did get an email from Linda, and she says, "Hey, Sarah and Jess, I'm back for more Cordy's Corner. I will be back with more Buffy commentary soon. I have a weird relationship with season 4. It's one of my least favorite seasons. The initiative stuff is so lame to me. That being said, season 4 does have some of my favorite episodes. So now on to Angel." Oh, Linda brings it up as well. Here we go, recycling actors again. You may recognize Richard. He's played by Carlos Jaquet, who also played the role of Ken in the Buffy episode Anne. Of course, just when Cordy starts catching feelings for Doyle, his wife has to pop up. Nice timing, Harry. I do really like how Angel sets up character-centric episodes so we can learn more about them and their journeys. This week, we got to delve a little deeper into Doyle's past. We learned that he was a married third-grade school teacher who was getting ready to start a family when his demon half emerged for the first time. He couldn't accept that as part of himself, causing him to become self-loathing, mistaking Harry's love and support for pity. He became angry and he spiraled. It's an interesting look at into how a traumatic event can change your life and how it can lead to you pushing everyone away. There's also more to Doyle's story that we will find out soon. Just to stop down there, Sarah, what did you think of Doyle having previously been a third-grade school teacher?
I thought it was really interesting because it seems as though he had a completely different life before. And I think that life could have been, I don't know, like, I don't really think it's super, like, compatible to, like, what Cordelia wants. He seemed like he was a little too normal for her back then. But, I mean, I was into it. I was into, like, learning all of it. Like, I know that he was involved in, like, philanthropy. So all of it was really interesting and showed me, like, a different side of him. Yeah, definitely.
Linda continues, we also got a look into subtle ways Cordy is changing and growing in this episode. Boring ass rich guys aren't enough for her anymore. She wants to be with someone with substance, someone brave, caring, and smart like Doyle. I know you ladies might not like Cordy being put in the damsel in distress mode. You're spot on, Linda. In the beginning of the episode, that will not be a recurring theme. It was more so done for Cordy to realize what's important to her is not someone with loads of money who will bail at any sign of trouble, but will be someone who will step up and be there for her. And also, Linda does to quote the, "You think I'm a nice guy? I say it, it's my way." So yeah, I thank you so much for emailing in, Linda. And of course, if anybody else wants to, shit90spod.com or shit90spod@gmail.com is the way to do that. I agree. I think I liked this episode. It kept my attention, which I can't say for every episode of Angel. Mostly the ones that are Angel focused, because I think he's so boring. Sarah, I have a case of the Angel is boring, like you have a case of the Oz is boring.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's understandable. Like, I think that generally, like, Angel is kind of pretty boring too.
He's but ho hum, like he's just like sad, sacky ho hum guy.
Yeah.
What do you think, Lindy? Were you like a big Angel fan?
I don't know if I'd call myself a big Angel fan, but I definitely appreciate him more than you are. But I've also seen the whole series of Angel, and there's going to be a lot more happening with him. I think, unfortunately for you, he's the main character, so he's always going to get a lot of focus. But they're going to do a lot of fun and interesting things with him, and also it's also about how the other characters around him are interacting with him and playing off of each other. So I think there's a lot there and some great moments, but I understand right now your frustration with him, but hopefully it gets better.
The one thing I did like from him this episode is he does seem to care about who Cordy's going out with. Like he was asking the guy questions. Like he does seem to care about his friends, which is good. The problem is he'll never be as interesting to me as he was when he was Angelus. Sorry. I'll never be able to get that right.
There's a 0% chance you're not going to see that side of him again. 0%.
There's a 0% chance we're not going. So you're saying we are going to see. There's a 100% chance we will see Angelus.
I guess.
You, like, double negatived and my brain exploded. I'm just gonna be honest.
I guess some would say there's 100% chance you're gonna see that side of him again.
Great. Do you well, Lindy already knows, but Sarah, do you want to know what the next episode titles are for both Buffy and Angel?
What happens if I just say no?
Well, then I won't tell you, and then we'll end the podcast.
All right, what is it?
So for Buffy season 4, episode 8 is Pangs.
Pains?
Pangs, like Pangs.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Sorry, it's a hard word to yeah.
Pangs.
Pangs. And the Angel episode is I Will Remember You.
I will
remember you. Will you remember me? It's gonna be he's just gonna be like, we're just gonna get slow fade-ins and fade-outs on memories of Buffy happening in his head. Yeah.
10%.
What a loser. Bro, you're like 200. Get over it. Stop.
He's even older than Spike.
Yeah, get over it. You're such a sad sack. He's just, I am the darkness. Like, okay, we know your heart's broken. Anyway, so that's for next week. Thank you so much, Lindy, for joining us. As always, it's always a pleasure to get to chat with you. What else do you have going on that you want the people to know about?
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I loved coming on here, talking about cheese. It was a great time. I am over on Whirlwind Podcasts. I'm always on One Indescribable podcast, where right now we're talking about Everwood. Thank you, Jess and Sarah, for the shout outs that you've done on this podcast about it.
Can you tell if I just would rather be talking about Everwood than Buffy sometimes?
Oh my God.
Well, I'm sure Jess and Sarah will both be guests on our
No, I
Everwood.
wasn't asked.
What? Well,
that sounds like something you need to work out in your household.
Husband is one of the co-hosts, so you're gonna be on it.
No, I'm going to be on it. The record date is supposed to be your birthday, and I had to remind Todd. I said, Todd, I don't think we're recording that day because it's Lindy's birthday.
Oh, thanks for looking out for me.
And he said, you're probably right, but I said I'll probably be available other days that week to record. So
okay, so you will be on it for sure. We'll figure out a date. So that's been a lot of fun. And I've also recently covered the show Mythic Quest and Side Quest with Adam. And we're going to keep doing some sort of podcast, probably about like top 10 lists for TV. We don't know exactly yet, but check that out on Whirlwind Podcasts.
Incredible. In the meantime, if you want to listen to more content from Sarah and I, of course, we put out Felicity recaps every week. And then I have a whole bunch of other shit going on. Like literally just follow me at the Jess Sterling, or go look for the light, talking shit. I'm just going to shout things at you. You'll find them. Sarah, anything else you want to tell the people about?
No
other big revelations about how you're actually a cat person or anything like that?
No, that's exclusive Felicity content.
Sorry. No crossover allowed. So we'll be back next week with season 4, episode 8 of Buffy. Until then, everyone, here endeth the lesson.
Just ask. Shit 90 shows taught me.
Shit 90 Shows Taught Me was not filmed before a live studio audience.